Happy weekend, Knicks Nation. I hope you're enjoying your weekend and that your families are safe and healthy and you are safe and healthy and enjoying this weekend. Welcome, Malik Shabazz, Lloyd's brother. Welcome, Kendall Jackson, Prem Chatul. Welcome, Donnell 140th Street. Senior Beef, good afternoon. Superstar, good afternoon, my brother. Welcome to all of you. I am enjoying my Sunday with my usual haunts. Just came today. I treated myself to some Five Guys, and then I had some grape juice. And I'm enjoying my afternoon, and I'm here meeting with you all. Sorry I'm a little late today. Was into some things. Andre, good afternoon to you. Prezi the Boss, good afternoon to you. So I wanted to, yes, this is called Chianti grape juice. I wanted to briefly go over salute to Killer, Kool-Aid, Tony Tippins, King Ribby, Stephen Kelly. Salute to all of you. I wanted to go over this situation that's really not a situation. Okay. I did a video Friday, and I stated in the video, many of you saw it, so says my statistics. I stated in the video that I did the video to cut off at the pass the clickbait that would surely come as a result of the availability of Malik Beasley. Of course, it was a failed attempt because the clickbait came like an overflowing stream, like a waterfall. And even my own video that was put out for the primary purpose of killing the clickbait, many people just looked at the picture of Malik and started telling me how good he will fit on the Knicks. All right. Mr. William 1072, my brother Organic Fanatic, the only DM Dawson, Tony Bell, welcome to all of you. Malik Beasley will not be coming to the New York Knicks. Again, just because, and I try to say this to y'all, but it doesn't matter because some people are just, as sparks fly upward, people are just bound to speculation and fantasy and drama. It's just what it is. Beasley, let's go over this briefly for everybody to catch up that's here. Of course, somebody will come in late and want us to start all over again, but let's start now, brethren of Knicks Nation. Let's start now. Pick New York, my brother. What's up, man? David Smith. Let's go over this. So Malik Beasley, Detroit Pistons, phenom, six-man. And I say that respectfully, phenom, six-man, both sides of the ball, won them at least one game in the playoffs against the Knicks with his shooting and defense. 94-foot pressure on Brunson. Very high level six-man in the NBA. Was being investigated by authorities with respect to gambling. Okay? And because of that, the Pistons, who were prepared to offer him 3 years, $42 million this offseason, pulled that offer and signed Duncan Robinson. Okay? Duncan Robinson is the replacement for Malik Beasley. Okay? He's the replacement for Malik Beasley. So they turned around and signed free agent Duncan Robinson. And let me just get that contract. But that's what happened. It was very similar, actually, to what happened with, they signed Duncan Robinson who was 31 years old. They signed him to a 3-year, $48 million deal, of which $19 million is guaranteed. Okay. It's similar to what happened to our own Judah, otherwise known as Precious Achua. The Knicks signed a Gershon Yabusele for the money that would have been going to Precious Achua, and in effect ending Precious Achua's New York Knicks career. Very similar, the Pistons signed Duncan Robinson as a replacement for Malik Beasley. Now, then it came out recently, as we all know, that the authorities decided Malik Beasley was no longer the subject of a gambling investigation. Now, during the whole ordeal, Beasley was never charged with any crime. He was never charged with any crime. Okay? He was never under arrest. This goes to show you how bad speculation and clickbait and media take things. Now, to answer the question of who asked the question, Guilford McCormick, my brother, no, he can't sue anybody. He was going to be a unrestricted free agent and could sign with anyone. And Detroit was not obligated to sign him. They had an offer that they were prepared to put on the table. Okay, now how does these things work? Smooth B, Sharice, Duncan, Guilford McCormick, Knicks Apocalypse, Curious Kev, welcome to all of you. How do these things work? Well, Malik Beasley has an agent or agency that represents him. If you're Malik's agent, it's first round New York Knicks series against your Detroit Pistons, and Malik is balling, and that series ends in 6 games. Now, you're Malik's agent. Malik is a unrestricted free agent as of July 1st. You're on the phone with Detroit. Does that make sense? Everybody with me so far? I don't want to lose anybody now. I'm going slow on purpose. You're Malik's agent or his representation, and you're on the phone with Detroit. And you want to know, what are you guys going to do on July 1st? You want to know that. Is that correct? Is that unreasonable to assume? What do y'all think? You're Malik Beasley's representation, are you not, in June, on the phone with the management of the Detroit Pistons? And what are you doing? You're wanting to know what you're going to do for my guy. Because we could look elsewhere if you're telling me you're not going to do your thing. If you're not going to come correct, we could look somewhere else. So you get word from the Detroit management that we intend to re-sign Malik. And our offer is going to be 3 years, $42 million, which you relay back to your client. July 1st, they're ready to put $342 on the table. And you're ready to sign. If you're Malik, you're ready to sign. Okay? Then this word comes down about an investigation from the authorities with respect to gambling. And of course, with this information, a whole bunch of speculation came out about Malik's gambling problems. Again, he's never been charged with a crime. He was never arrested. But he's under investigation. That is enough for Detroit to say, listen here, man, we love you, bro, but we're not going to pay you $42 million if you're going to be suspended for gambling from the NBA. So they signed Duncan Robinson and Karis LeVert. Okay? So they signed two players, and those two players are by design going to replace Malik Beasley. They're going to replace him. So Karis LeVert gets 2 years, $29 million fully guaranteed. And of course, I mentioned Duncan Robinson gets 3 years, $48 million with the first year only guaranteed. So between the two of those players, they have replaced Malik Beasley. Now, it comes out, as we know, that Malik is found to be not guilty of any crime. And in fact, the investigation into him ends. So now the $42 million is off the table. And now he's an unrestricted free agent. Now let's talk about what he has available to him. Okay. Well, first of all, any team with cap space can sign him. He's unrestricted. Any team with cap space can sign him, including Detroit. Okay. I'm not sure what you mean by that, David Smith, honestly, but I'm trying to explain this situation as succinctly as I can. So Detroit has $7.2 million that they can offer to him. Detroit has $7.2 million that they can offer to him. Okay. New York has $3.6 million that they can offer to him. But there is at least two teams, and I'm not even including Charlotte or Brooklyn, because they can obviously offer him that kind of money, but they're not playoff teams. There are two legit playoff teams, namely Memphis and Milwaukee. There are two legit playoff teams. Yes, there's Utah also, but there's two, in Utah's in full rebuild mode right now, right? So you're talking about Utah, Brooklyn, and Charlotte, that all three are in rebuild mode. So he could get his money if he wanted to from one of those three teams. He could get his money there. But if you're Malik, I think you're looking for a playoff team. Are you not? If you're Malik Beasley, are you not trying to get the bag and the playoffs? Aren't you trying to do that? You could get the bag. See, this is the thing most of these Knicks fans that are speculating and those putting out the clickbait refuse to acknowledge. He could get his money. He don't have to come to New York. He could get his money. Okay? And so aside from Utah, aside from Brooklyn, and aside from Charlotte, let's take those off the table. But I think we could come to an agreement that if he just wanted the money, he could get it from there. Do y'all understand that? Everybody got that? Testing 1, 2, 3. If he wanted the money, the $42 million, he could get it. That's not even the question. No, the question is, can he get the money from a playoff team? And he can. There are two playoff teams that can pay him 3 years, $42 million. Two. One of them is Memphis. Memphis could pay him 3 years, $42 million. The other one is the Bucks. The Bucks could pay him 3 years, $42 million. Okay? So now, let me ask you a question. The Knicks can give you 3.6. Detroit can give you 7.2. And a playoff team like Memphis or Milwaukee can give you the whole 42 you want. What team are you signing with? What team are you signing with? Okay? He had a run with the Bucks, but that don't listen. Y'all from New York, right? Most of you. Money talks. You know what walks, right? Come on now. Y'all from New York. Money talks. You know what walks, right? Homie talking about dividends right now. He talking about dividends. So if he could get playoffs and dividends, what the hell he gonna come to New York for the vet men for? Okay. So all this speculation about what Malik can do, and I told y'all it wasn't even about his ability. We know the boy could ball. I don't think there's ever been a question of coming out of Florida State, again, Leonard Hamilton's program, whether the boy could ball. We knew he could ball. He was balling in Minnesota. Okay? He was balling there. But he has had issues. Okay? He has had some issues. He's had a few marijuana issues. He's had some GAT issues. We've had a few issues. Okay? But there's no question about whether he could ball or not. That's not even the issue. That's not even on the table. He could ball. So what's the likelihood? I put it at 20% last Friday. I said there's a 20% chance he comes to the Knicks. But honestly, I think I was being too optimistic. So I think it's probably less than 10% chance he comes to New York. Okay, less than 10. So, yeah. So he's going to, I think you're right, but he is not coming to New York. In my attempt to try to head off clickbait at the pass, I admit I failed. I should have known better. Clickbait is strong in Knicks Nation. It's very strong. The minute homie becomes available, everybody in New York is ready to sell mama, daddy, and everybody else and get him on the roster for the Knicks. Come on, y'all. Landry Shamet is our guy. Okay. All right. Let's just get that out the way. Landry Shamet is our guy. Okay. That's our boy right there. We're going to bring back Landry. And again, I'm admitting, maybe that was a mistake too. I'm admitting Malik is better than Landry Shamet. There's no doubt about that to me in terms of who can ball. Oh, come on, man. Malik. Did y'all watch the playoffs last year? Homie had dudes draped all over him and was dropping threes. Okay? He had dudes draped all over him and was dropping threes. That boy is out of this world, man. I mean, cold-blooded. There's no doubt he's a better player. But that does not take away from the abilities that Landry Shamet brings to the table, right? I mean, we know Shamet could shoot the rock. And let me tell you, I don't think we have seen like the best of Landry Shamet yet. Because remember now, last year, he hurt his shoulder bad, dislocated it, and worked through that. That was not no easy feat. He worked through it, had to work his way back in the Thibodeau's rotation, and he had some nice games for the Knicks. Coming into a full training camp healthy, I like the idea of Shamet. Okay, I like what the possibilities are with him. So I think Shamet's our boy. Shamet is our boy, man. Let's, we could stop all the speculation. Let's just leave the Beasley crap alone. He is not coming to New York again for multiple reasons. Number one, he's gonna get more money. He's gonna get more money. He's gonna get more money. Number two, he's gonna get more money. And he's still going to be on a playoff team. That would be kind of ironic, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm not trying to stereotype anybody, but can we agree that the Memphis Grizzlies, like the city of Memphis, got a bit of a reputation Can we agree? I'm trying to be conservative on my comments here, but can we agree that the city of Memphis has a bit of a reputation? What do y'all think? Can we agree? They got a bit of a reputation, and John Morant kind of fits that vibe. John Morant fits that vibe. Am I lying to y'all yet? John Morant fits that vibe, and you add Malik to that mix. Oh my God! Ooh, that would be funny, man. You add Malik to that. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah. So forget Malik. Now, I want to also discuss the Dink Pate situation. So this week, the Knicks earned the rights to Dink Pate. And that does not mean he's not getting, call him MOP, exactly. Only you would come up with something like that. Organic fanatic, yes. Everybody better ante up. With the 20 inches outside. That's right. With the 20 inches outside. Everybody better ante up. They got the VIX formula. You know what the VIX formula is, right? Wait. Y'all know they got the VIX formula in Memphis. You know what the VIX formula is, right? Well, VIX formula is medicine. But you know what it is, right? VIX formula is formula 44. They got VIX formula 44 down there. Yeah, they do. They got that medicine. Oh, God. Well, anywho, I think we could put the rest, the Malik Beasley. But let's talk about Dink Pate. Let's talk about Dink Pate, okay? What about Dink? Well, in order to give Dink any type of contract, the Knicks first have to have his rights. Does that make sense, y'all? So they have to obtain his rights. Even though he played in the summer league, they don't have his rights. Okay? So they have to obtain his rights. In order to obtain his rights, they have to get those rights from the Mexico City team he was playing on. So they traded Boo Booey, I think his name, to obtain the rights to Dink Pate. So now the Knicks have the rights to Dink Pate. And unofficially, he's a Westchester Knick. But that does not mean, I just want to be clear, it does not mean he can't get a two-way deal. But because now they got his rights. Now they could sign him to a two-way deal. Just because he's officially a Westchester Knick does not mean they can't get him a two-way deal. Okay. I felt all along, and I still feel like all along, he's going to get a two-way deal. And matter of fact, I was talking to my boy there, my new homie. What's his name? Lee Escobedo. I don't want to mess up his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Lee Escobedo, lately of Nick of Time TV. I was talking to them, and he was, he's familiar. Like he actually knew Dink Pate from the Dallas area. And he said from what he heard, the Knicks are going to give him a two-way deal. So I'm going to have to go with, I kind of felt that all along anyway. So I think that one of those 3 two-way contracts is going to go to Dink Pate. I think one of them 3 two-way deals is going to, Escobedo, right. And one of them 3 two-way, he said he already heard from Dink's people that the Knicks are going to give him a two-way deal. So I think that what we saw last week was just the first step in them, getting that two-way deal for him. I love the upside of this kid, man. I love the upside of this kid. I mean, everybody can see the stats, right? 6'8", play guard, but I see somebody that could play at least 3 positions, 1, 2, and 3, that can defend at the NBA level. And once he gets some polish on his game, and I'm going to tell you what, it's not going to take, he's not going to be like Tyler Kolek that's going to take 2 seasons to get on this game. This boy is going to be ready next summer. The Knicks now have a culture. They got a culture now. They got a real culture right now. So in the Knicks culture of development, I think this kid is going to do well, man. I think he's going to do well. So I'm looking for him to be looking for a roster spot this time next year. Really. God forbid he gets hurt. Hopefully he stays healthy. But I'm just thinking he's got too much NBA athleticism, skill level, defense, size, the whole nine, man. He just needs development. So let him play mostly G League time this year, and then bring him up, for the next summer league. And then based on what he shows, which I think he's going to show some stuff, give him a contract. This kid is going to be good. So and he's 19. I like that. I like that. I like that idea. I still believe that the rookie deal is going to go to Muhammad Diawara. I still think they're going to sign him to a rookie deal. Okay, I still think they're going to sign him to a rookie deal. So they still have to sign they got the rookie deal. So they got to fill it with somebody. There's only 2 candidates for the rookie contract. One is James Najee, and the other one is Muhammad Diawara. They're only 2 rookies that you can sign like that. Those 2 guys. I mean, technically, Pate is a rookie, right? But I don't think they're going to give him the rookie contract. I think he's going to get a 2-way deal. But so really, you're talking about 2 possibilities here. 2 possibles if you're playing spades. There's 2 possibles to this spade game. It's either James Najee or it's Muhammad Diawara. And they're going to get the standard rookie contract. Okay? They're going to get the standard rookie contract. So one of them is, and I think Diawara is more ready, in my view. I mean, the Knicks might feel different. I'm not in their practices. I don't coach these guys. I'm not, Bryant to know who they like, who they don't. But from what I saw, Diawara is more ready for the NBA than Najee is right now. Najee's going to be. Both of these kids are 21 or under, right? So Najee's going to be. He's just not right now. He needs some Mark Bryant work. James Najee. He needs some Mark Bryant work right now. I think if he gets that Mark Bryant development, we might have a monster on our hands. We might. I don't want to bring him up too soon though, because think of, y'all remember, I'm not joking. Y'all remember Kevin Knox, right? Kevin Knox could have been a real NBA player. He came out of Kentucky too soon. He didn't have proper development. And he was thrown to the wolves too soon. He didn't get the proper development, and it ruined him. And that can happen. That can happen. See, if he'd have stayed at least one more year with Calipari, and then got the proper development, come in and probably get picked in the lower half of the first round, get the proper development with a 2-way deal or with G League, he would be a much better NBA player right now. But he never got that, and it was too much on him. It's the same. The Knicks messed up a few players, and this is a function of bad management. Frank Ntilikina should not have been drafted 8th. They messed him up too. He should not have been drafted 8th. Okay. And Kevin Knox should not. There's no way. I mean, right now we could all look at it and laugh, right? Because there's no way Kevin Knox should have been drafted against Mikal Bridges, Miles Bridges, Shea Gilgeous, or whoever, right? But they were. And that draft into it, it's like my man, other brother from Florida State, Will, right? Chill Will. He shouldn't have been drafted 4th overall. That was too high. Okay, and they put a lot of expectations on him. He gets hurt a lot, and now he's really struggling. They just re-signed him. They just extended him, I think, for $90 million. I still believe in the kid's talent. Yeah, Pat will. I still believe in the kid's talent. But you could ruin a guy drafting him too high. You really could. So the Knicks did that with both Ntilikina and Knox. There's no way they should have been drafted that high. And so that ruined Knox. He should have come back to Kentucky for another year. I can't fault him. I don't know what his family situation is. Maybe he needed that money. Okay, it's 4 years guaranteed money, so maybe he needed that money. But damn, he could have got better development. May have been, really a solid NBA pro right now, which he's not. Okay, so you don't want to do that to James Najee. That's my point. You don't want to bring him along too fast. You want him to get the proper development. You don't want him to have any pressure on him. You want him to learn the nuances of playing the five in the NBA. Mark Bryant could teach him that. Okay, and that would be really beneficial to him. Muhammad Diawara, in my view, can already hold his own in the NBA. And what I love about it is he's going to be a second-round pick. He's going to get about $1.5 million a year, 4 years, $6 million, something like that. And he's more ready. So I still feel strongly that Diawara will get that rookie contract, and Najee will be. I don't know if they're going to give him the two-way deal, but it's apparent to me somebody's losing a spot. I don't know who it is, but they only have 3 two-way contracts. And I'm telling you right now, Dink Pate is one of them. So that means they got 2 two-way deals left. Oh, Ms. Stevens, how you doing? They only got 2 two-way deals left. And you got McCullough, you got Najee, you got Anton Watson, right? You got all of these guys that can play, that really legitimately can play on the two-way deal. You can only give 2 of them two-way contracts. You got McCullough, Najee, Anton Watson, and Beauchamp. You still got Beauchamp, right? Forgot about him. Thank you, Coach Howard. You still got Beauchamp. So you got 4 guys for 2 positions. I don't know. I'm somebody losing a spot now. If they want, and Ian Begley, for bless him, and I'm not trying to knock Ian. He's one of my wise men, so I'm not trying to knock him. But he keeps mentioning another veteran. Okay. Yeah, KP been in Atlanta, bro. Where you been? KP got traded like, I don't even know it was July 1st. They sent that brother, they sent him down to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. KP down in the ATL, man. Yeah. Yeah, they sent him. And Drew out there with Drew Holiday out there with Portland. Drew Holiday back in Portland, man. I don't know what they're doing, whatever. But neither of them on the subject. So I don't know what the Knicks are going to do, but Ian keeps mentioning another veteran. Did y'all hear that? Several times, during his last couple of pods, he mentions the possibility of them adding another veteran. And he also mentioned what I mentioned, which means they got to trade somebody, which is really only Tyler Kolek. They're not trading Bacone Daddy. I can't see them doing it. They're not trading Bacone Daddy. But so I'm wondering what veteran, though, because for what? I would say get one of them 4 dudes we talking about. Anton Watson, Beauchamp, McCullough. I could see one of them cats. Or, of course, we mentioned Najee. I don't want Najee on a regular contract. I would like to see him on a 2-way deal, or even Westchester Knicks. I'm fine with that. But any of them other guys, I would not mind seeing McCullough or Watson or Beauchamp. Right, Coach Hauser brings up DeLon Wright, and I can't deny that. I mean, that would be appealing also. DeLon Wright is a seriously good veteran, not going to complain about minutes, and we have already seen he could come in a pinch and start for Jalen Brunson if he needs to. We have already seen that and perform at a very nice level, right? So, there's DeLon Wright also. So, yeah, I got to go with that too. But then if you do add DeLon Wright, how many guards do you have? Right? Let's assume they trade Kolek. So if they did and they signed DeLon Wright, you would have Brunson, Deuce, Wright, Shamet. Am I missing anybody? Right? And Jordan Clarkson. You would have 5 guards. If you traded Kolek and signed DeLon Wright, you would have 5 guards, right? You would have 5 guards. Yeah. I don't know. That's a lot of guards. That's a lot of guards, though. You'd have 5 right there. That's a lot of guards, man. So, all right. I mean, I can't, Coach House, I can't put cold water on that dream because it makes a lot of sense. I would drop Kolek, and like y'all said, I would send Kolek to Utah for 2 large pizzas. And I don't even eat pizza these days to get and add DeLon Wright to that roster. I would do that too. I'm not even going to front, but that'd be a lot of freaking guards. I would rather have, honestly, y'all know, I would rather have Beauchamp or even McCullough or Watson. You know why? Because they're wings. Give me a wing. If I could get another wing, I'm good with that. Because then you got Bridges, OG. Who else they got on the wing? Damn, that would be it, wouldn't it? Am I missing somebody? Bridges and OG is your wings. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather Pacome Daddy, right? Thank you, Coach House. Yes, let me not forget Daddy. So you got 3 wings. I don't know. I think I'd rather add a wing. Especially you got Beauchamp. Anton Watson's a wing. Beauchamp's a wing. And of course, McCullough's a wing. So I think I would add another wing. And Josh Hart, right? Right, Josh Hart. Let me not forget Josh. I think of Josh Hart. I don't ever think of him as like a specific position. To me, he's just a guy that can fill in at the 2, the 3, or the 4. And yes, he is a wing. So yeah, that's right. I can't forget him either. That's correct, Mr. McCormick. You're right. So right now they have Josh, Bridges. OG's a wing, but he could play the 4. Josh, Bridges, OG, Pacome. So yeah, they pretty good at the wing too. So I don't know if it matters. You can put a wing in there, or you can get another guard. I don't know, because you have 5 wings or 5 guards, whatever. So we'll see. Now, if they sign Diawara, then there's no doubt they need to sign DeLon Wright. What do y'all think? Because if they sign Diawara, he's a wing. Diawara is a wing. And I think I'm not speculating too crazy if I say Diawara could guard 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's my belief. My opinion is that Muhammad Diawara can legitimately guard 1 through 4. Okay, 7-foot wingspan, at least 6'8", but he look a good 6'9" to me. And right, you know who he is a lot like? I hate to do it, but he's like Jalen. The kid that's over there in Minnesota, Jalen, what's his name? The boy they got from Washington. His brother plays too. I forgot his name. But Jalen's mixed something. But I think he could play. To me, they're a lot alike, him and that boy. He's a lot alike, except of course, our guy's much cheaper. Jaden McDaniels. He's a lot like Jaden McDaniels. Long, can guard multiple positions, can hit the 3. Except, of course, McDaniels is probably 3 years ahead of Diawara. But I think Diawara's future is McDaniels. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, you got another wing with him too. So, I don't know. We are stacked. I think Coach Hauser. I have to go with your thought. I think they should trade Kolek and sign DeLon Wright. I think they should. And they should give Landry Shamet that one they got open right now, and then trade Kolek, open another spot, and bring back DeLon Wright. I think that's a good idea. What y'all think? Let's do a poll on that. You too, Mr. All right, let's do a poll on that. All right, this is gonna be an easy one. All right, this is an easy poll. Y'all ready? This is an easy one. Now, if you don't agree with any part of this, just say no. So if you think they shouldn't trade Kolek, just say no to the whole thing, right? So I am saying the Knicks should sign Shamet, trade Kolick, and sign DeLon Wright. What do y'all think? I think that's what I would do. I think that's the best move to make. That's my opinion, and let's see what y'all think. I think that's what I would do. Yeah, because I have to agree. Looking at the whole situation now, Josh is a wing. Of course, you got McCollum, OG. Josh is a wing. If you sign Diawara, he's a wing. So we got wings. We would have wings there. So yeah, most of y'all, 72% of y'all are with that. Yeah, this summer, and Senior Beef, I agree with you. Kolick's assignment was to show a progression on the defensive end of the floor and continue his offensive production. Well, right? I don't think I'm being unreasonable. Kolick's assignment this past summer was to show a progression on the defensive end of the floor and continue his offensive, development. On the offensive side of the ball, it was iffy. It wasn't consistent. I don't think it was. He had a couple of good games, but he had a couple of terrible games. It was not consistent. On the defensive side of the ball, it was consistently below par. Consistently below par. Okay? So I don't think he did the job, And again, I do think Tyler Kolick can be an NBA player. I'm not going to say he can't play in the NBA. I think he can. I think he needs reps. I don't think he's going to ever be even Jalen Brunson on defense, but we got to give him at least a chance, right? Yeah, great. We got to give him at least a chance. See, Chianti, what I like about Chianti, Malik, it's not the wine that you don't guzzle Chianti. You got to sip Chianti. It's a sipping thing. You know what I'm saying? You enjoy it when you just sip a little bit. Like, you don't chug a lug it like you do, Welch's. You understand? This is the type of grape juice you just sip a little bit, let it roll around in your mouth a little bit, taste a little bit. You know what I mean? That's what you do with Chianti. Yeah, so Kolick would be a better fit to me on a rebuilding team. Whether you're talking about Utah, again, we're going to the usual suspects, the Nets, Utah, or Charlotte. Okay, yeah. Yeah, right. Like you might chug a lug Ripple because you don't drink Ripple because you enjoy it. You drink Ripple because you're depressed. Like whenever I was depressed, I would drink Old English 800 or a Thunderbird. When I'm depressed now, I'm not trying to enjoy the finer taste of the alcohol. I'm just trying to get drunk to forget my problems, right? That's when you drink that. But you don't do that with Chianti. Okay, you don't do that with Chianti. It's like a friend of mine told me one time, you don't put classical music on blast. You know what I'm saying? You got to, you want that subdued situation. Yeah, you're right. Right. So Chianti, you want to sip it and enjoy it a little bit. Yeah, you'll get a little buzz, but that's all you're looking for is that little buzz because you just get a little taste, little, sip. Part of my little routine on Sunday. My favorite one, though, is Red Classico Zinfandel. I like that. The favorite brand is the 7 Deadly Zins. That is my jam right there. I saved that. But today is Chianti. So what was I saying? Oh, so back to our point at hand. I'm thinking, looks like y'all agree with me. They should sign DeLon Wright and trade Tyler Kolick to open up a spot to sign DeLon Wright. I think that's a solid move. I think if they would do that, it would be good. First things first, though, they have to sign, or should I say, re-sign Landry Shamet, right? What y'all think? I think that's first things first, right? That's the first thing we got to get done. I'm thinking I really expect the Shamet signing first week of September. honestly. When everybody gets back from vacation and they're getting ready for training camp, I think they should sign Shamet at that point. Yeah, get Shamet done first. Get that done, and then we could talk about what else we need to do, right? Lock Shamet up. So, yeah. So, yeah, we can forget Malik. For those of you that are just joining, forget Malik Beasley. He is not coming to the Knicks. No, I haven't heard anything. It's based on common sense. I would take $7 million rather than 3.6, and I would take 42 in a playoff team if I could get that. This is actually my second glass, Prim Chato. I had a glass after I finished my lunch at about 3 o'clock. And then I started watching a movie, and I at 2 o'clock. And I started watching the movie, fell asleep, woke up. I had my second glass next to me, so I brought it in here with y'all. Yeah, re-sign Shamet. And then if you bring back DeLon, you got a veteran that you know can step in and start for you if he needs to. Spot start him in. You got that with DeLon, right? Veteran, he ain't going to make no stupid mistakes. He's not going to turn the ball over. He doesn't take bad shots, right? What do y'all think, right? I mean, he don't take bad shots. He's very under control. He plays within himself. He plays very solid defense. He's 6'5". Long. I don't know what his wingspan is, but he's got a pretty good wingspan at 6'5". And he plays really good NBA level defense. Yeah. So the Knicks would be stacked. They really would. And that's why and I've been saying to y'all, the 12th guy on the rotation is going to be important. The 12th guy, whoever and I don't know who it is. There's a number of candidates. There's going to be guys that don't play. Okay. Everybody's going to play a little couple minutes during the course of an 82-game grind. But I'm saying for the most part, you're going to get 10 guys that are going to play rotation minutes. 9 to 10. I think 10. And then you're going to have an 11th and 12th guy that'll probably get 8 minutes a game. Okay. But if somebody gets hurt, that 11th and 12th guy are going to get rotation minutes. And when I mean hurt, I'm not talking about season-ending injuries, God forbid. I'm talking about a sprained ankle, a sprained wrist, a non-basketball injury like a cold or a flu, stuff like that. Then you'll be getting that 11th or 12th guy gets rotation minutes during that time. Yeah, jam think right. Stuff like that. That happens every year, right? So stuff like that, and you'll get that 11th or 12th guy will step up and get more minutes. Those guys are going to be important, right? The 13th, 14th, and 15th guy are probably not going to play. Okay, they're probably not going to play unless somebody gets hurt, God forbid. But they're not going to play. So yeah, it's not going to be. It ain't like he's not going to just be playing guys to see what they can do. One thing for sure, unlike Fizz Goggles, Mr. Brown is for real. You eat what you kill. I got to give him that. He is for real on you eat what you kill. And you know who the Keegan Murray kid is an example of that. Out of Iowa, right? Keegan Murray, rookie out of Iowa, he started for Mike Brown. Okay. Why? Because he earned the starting spot. So Mike Brown is for real. You eat what you kill. So whoever can earn a spot will get the spot. I don't think there's nobody below Deuce that's going to take his minutes. There's nobody below Hart that's going to take his minutes. There's nobody below Jordan Jordan Clarkson going to take his minutes. No, them cats ain't losing their minutes. Okay, they not. Okay, so Shamet, ain't nobody below Shamet taking his minutes. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So anybody below the 12th guy is going to have to beat out the 12th guy, 11th guy, 10th guy to get minutes. I don't see nobody doing it. Nobody doing it. Okay, and Brown, y'all know just by every day they practice, so he gonna see. But I don't think he's gonna be throwing anybody in the rotation that you don't expect to be in there unless they earned their spot. So if you see a guy that you didn't expect and they were getting rotation minutes, he must have showed the team something in practice. because Brown is for real. You eat what you kill type dude. He is. He will play a rookie, Keegan Murray as example. If you earn it, he will pay. He will play you. See? Yeah. So, but I really favor, not Pacome Daddy, Beauchamp for that 12th spot. I don't know if the Knicks do, but I favor him for the 12th spot. We'll see what's going on. Some knucklehead wrote some speculation about him signing with some team. Beauchamp hasn't signed with anybody yet. And this is one of the bad habits of, don't get me started, but one of the bad habits of the short-sighted ADHD type culture we have. Somebody hears something in speculation from a writer that's proven to be worth crap, and they take it and pass it on like it's facts. Some knucklehead wrote, I don't even know who the knucklehead is that behind white that they call themselves some sort of content creator, but they said Beauchamp is signing with Portland. That was like a month ago. Beauchamp ain't signed with nobody. He's up in the air right now. Okay, he's up in the air. So we'll see how it works. Yeah, Josh Hart, I don't think Coach Brown is going to push Josh Hart to do what Josh Hart don't want to do. Josh Hart's got that type of credibility. I don't think Brown is going to. If Hart don't want to practice, guess what? He ain't going to practice. And I'm going to tell you what, though. He's going to be ready for the game. And Brown knows it. And anybody that knows Josh Hart knows it. See? So Josh Hart will get a pass. Brown ain't stupid. He ain't rigid, right? He's not rigid. What do we say about Brown? He is a guy that does what? Collaborates. Right? He's a guy that collaborates. So he ain't going to be telling Josh Hart, you got to practice to play. He ain't doing that. He's going to let Josh Hart practice if he wants to or not practice. As long as Hart knows where he's supposed to be on the floor and knows what his responsibilities are, which he does, he'll play. Okay? Yeah, I'm going to get you right, Cole. There you go. I'm going to get you right, kid. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. But anyway, it was Alan Hahn wrote something on X the other day. His career is intriguing. I was like, what the hell does that mean? Intriguing in what way? I said, it looks to me that he has reached his ceiling. I don't know what's intriguing about that. See, when you get over 24 and you haven't really played significant minutes in the NBA, it doesn't get any easier to get minutes. Okay, it gets a little harder. Aside from you being older, there are always youngins looking to take your spot. Okay, always youngins. Who's the new Mobb Deep channel? Well, let me ask you, who you think it is? Name 4 players. Name the next 4 guys after the starting 5. First, let me help you out. Let me give you the starting 5. So starting 5 is going to be Cat, Brunson, right? Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and it probably is going to be Mitchell Robinson, although I could totally understand if they start Deuce McBride. I would have no problem with that. But it's probably going to be Mitchell Robinson. So what are you looking like on the bench then? Clarkson, Hart, Deuce, and Yabu. Right, that's it. There you go. Now, if they start Deuce, then you're looking at Clarkson, Hart, Mitchell Robinson, and Yabu. Done deal. That's it. There's Mobb Deep right there. And then if they sign Shamet, right? If they sign Shamet, what is it? This is no-brainer stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is no-brainer stuff. So if they sign Landry Shamet and you want a 5th guy, there you go. There he is. All right. Yeah. So what likely happens though is he's going to play. He's going to play 9 or 10, but you do understand he's going to have a starter in there with bench people. He's going to mix and match it. Like somebody just mentioned running the offense through Cat. Well, when you put your second unit out there, it's definitely running through Cat. I don't know if they're going to do it like that with Brunson out there. They should, but I don't know if they're going to do that. But for sure, the second unit's offense is going to run through Karl-Anthony Towns. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so. Oh, yeah, who Porty's going to play? Even if Mitchell Robinson does not start, who Porty's going to play? There's no doubt in my mind. Who Porty will be the 12th guy. He'll play. Okay. There's no question about that. And then over the course of the 82-game grind, he's going to play also. Who Porty is going to play? He's not going to just linger on the bench and not play. He's going to be games he don't play. But he ain't going to rack up, DNP CDs like last year. He's going to play. They're going to need him. Okay. They're going to need him. So, with Karl-Anthony Towns getting in foul trouble, and then they need the defense and they got to get stops. They're going to need who Porty is going to play. So I have no doubt about that. Who Porty's going to play. And he'll end up getting, at least at some point in the season, rotation minutes. He'll get some rotation minutes too. So to me, that's a no-brainer also. Who Porty, unless he gets hurt, God forbid, he's going to play. So, yeah, he's going to get some burn. There's no doubt. Who Porty going to get some burn. The guys that are not going to be racking up the DNP CDs, Kolick, if McCullough is on the roster, he's going to, whoever the two-way guys are, they're going to rack up DNP CDs. These guys, just like, they're not going to play. But Diawara depends. Diawara is a wild card because he could earn rotation minutes if he balls out in practice. I don't know what Diawara is going to do. They might go for McCormick, but I don't know if they sit Mitch Rob on back-to-backs if he's with Mobb Deep. If he starts, I agree with you. I think they would do that. But if he's with Mobb Deep, I don't think he sits back-to-backs. I think he plays as many games as he could play, which I think should be at least 70 if he's coming off the bench. Okay, I think he should play at least 70 games. So if he's part of Mobb Deep, he's going to play. But if he's not, if he's starting, I can see him sitting on back-to-back nights, which means you're going to see Hoop Porty. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. But so the answer, who was it? Prem? Who was it? Prem? He asked who's Mobb Deep? Okay, so it's Jordan Clarkson, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, and it's Yabu. And if there's a fifth guy, it's Shamet. If Mitchell Robinson comes off the bench and Deuce starts, it'll be Mitchell Robinson, Jordan Clarkson, Yabu Selly, Josh Hart, and Landry Shamet. There's your Mobb Deep. And they will be dynamic. They're going to be really good. I like the idea of that. No, Preem, he's not going to do that. Let me explain to Prim, Chato, and anybody else that's thinking like that. There is a difference between initiating the offense and running the offense. Let me say it again. There is a difference between initiating the offense and running the offense. So, because of the full court pressure you can expect teams to put on Jalen Brunson, you will have Mikal Bridges initiating the offense. So he gets it over half court and the offense is starting. But no matter what, once he gets it over half court, the ball is going into the hands of one Karl-Anthony Towns. And then he is going to dictate what they're going to do. Okay? So that's a different thing. No, he's not going to be running the offense. And then you're going to have the same thing with Josh Hart. Josh Hart is going to help bring the ball up. So he initiates it, but he's not running the offense. Okay? It's going to be either Brunson or Karl-Anthony Towns running the offense. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jordan Clarkson do it either. Okay. Jordan Clarkson might run some offense. Also coming off the bench with Mobb Deep, he might. Though he'll be better off running off the ball, but he's also a point guard. He can run point. Okay. Yeah. So initiating the offense and running the offense are two different things. You initiate the offense just by getting it over half court, which I think we all saw. There were times last year when Brunson had trouble getting the ball half court. You know, when he had Malik Beasley guarding him, or Ashore Thompson guarding him, when he had what's the cat from Neesmith, when he had Neesmith guarding him, he had trouble sometimes getting that ball over half court. So he gives the ball up to Bridges or Josh and let them, get up the ball over half court. So now, and it's a huge difference starting your offense, initiating your offense with 14 seconds left on the clock versus 18 seconds left on the clock. Yeah, so that's the thing. So you're going to have guys helping him initiate the offense. And they should, but he's going to run it or Cat's going to run it. They'll end up getting the ball once it's over the timeline, and these other guys will take over and run the offense, and they'll run whatever play they're going to run, And yeah, exactly, Coach Hauser. And that's what I'm saying. You're going to have, that's right, Mikal Bridges, Clarkson, Hart, Deuce, all of them guys can initiate the offense. All of them can help Brunson initiate the offense. Once you get it over the timeline, there's 18 seconds left on the clock. Now you're running an offensive play. That's going to be up to Brunson and Cat. They're going to decide what they're going to do at that point. And the coach will probably be calling out stuff, But Cat is too good. He's too good to not make sure he has that ball in his hands. He's a great passer, great shooter, can take it off the dribble. There's no 5 in the NBA that could guard him. So, you got to get him the basketball. He's going to have the ball in his hands. You definitely want to get him the ball. Yeah. So that's going to be the situation. Similarities and differences. You mean Joshua 102.888? Do you mean similarities and differences between Mike Brown and the former coach Tom Thibodeau? Is that what you mean when you say similarities and differences? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you talking about the differences and similarities between him and Coach Tibbs? Oh, I see. Okay. Well, it appears to me that Brown understands the importance of defense in that he has hired O'Connor, and he and O'Connor are going to focus on the defense. And he has hired 3 guys, Leaf, I think one of them, and 2 other guys to run the offense. So it looks like he's really going to focus on the defense. So I think that's going to be that. Thibodeau's whole coaching style, Thibodeau's style and Brown's style are different. Brown is much more flexible in his style. Tibbs is inflexible in his style. Tibbs likes veterans. He don't give a crap who the rookie is. Tibbs likes to run 8, sometimes 7. Tibbs' whole focus is who's playing defense. If you ain't playing defense, you ain't playing. Ask Kemba Walker. Ask Fournier. If you ain't playing defense, you ain't long for the rotation. Not with Tibbs. Okay? Brown will attempt to fit you into an offense to get you going with your strengths. He will attempt to develop you in your strengths. Tibbs ain't doing that. Either you fit what he does or you don't play. And I kind of like that myself, but I know a lot of y'all was tripping about that, but I like that. The only thing I would criticize Coach Tibbs on is I thought he should have ran 10, and I totally thought that. Some of y'all thinking he was going to run 10 was in delusional world because I knew he wasn't going to do it. Tibbs is very rigid in how he does his thing. He does his thing, and that's it. Brown is much more flexible. So Brown, that's can also be a scary thing. Brown is going to focus on the defense. Let's hope he has good results on the defensive side of the ball, because his teams have been inconsistent on the defensive side of the basketball. Inconsistent. So, and he is smart enough to be aware of that. Thing is, I think we can agree the Knicks have a lot more defensive talent on their team than the Kings had under Brown, right? The Knicks' top 10 players are way better defensively than the top 10 players of Sacramento. As far as defense, we're talking defensively, right? Totally different, right? So, and I don't even know who were the defensive stalwarts for the Sacramento Kings. I don't even know who was the guys that were the defensive stalwarts for the Sacramento Kings under Brown. I don't even know. I mean, who is that? I don't even know. Because I don't really see anybody on their team as any particular. Sabonis is decent, but I wouldn't call him like all NBA defense. Murray is decent, but Keon Ellis is probably their best defender. I think Keon Ellis is probably their best defender. It'd be Ellis, right? Monk plays defense? Okay. But I don't think I'm speculating that Keon Ellis is their best defender, right? That's really their best guy. Now, Keon Ellis is their best defender. I would say, maybe I'm prejudiced, I would say he is no better than Deuce defensively. I would say Keon Ellis and Deuce defensively, okay? But the Knicks got more than Deuce in their defense. They got Mitchell Robinson, Malik Beasley, Bridges, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, right? Yabusele. They got at least 6. When you include Porty, they got at least 6 guys that can play defense. Okay, so yeah, I agree with you, Coach Hauser, and that's a positive way of thinking about how Brown handled stuff defensively. Maybe he didn't have, but they traded him. They traded Davion off night up to Montreal, up to Toronto, and then now Miami Heat has him, right? So Davion Mitchell was a really good still. He was a great defender in college, and he's really good still in the NBA. So yes, they had him, but they traded him. So, and he fits he does. I agree with you. He fits the culture. He fits the style. Davion Mitchell fits. That's why they re-signed him. They re-signed him. I forgot what the deal he got, but I think I want to say he got at least 3-year deal, right? Or was it 2-year deal? He got at least 3-year deal in Miami. Let me just check this out. Let me see Miami. Davion Mitchell. I know he got an extension. Let me see. Davion, lights out, off night. He got 2 years. 2 years, 30 million. Yeah. No, not 30. He got 2 years, about 24 million, something like that. 2 years, 24. Yeah. So he got 24 million over 2 years. And then I think he's got a 3rd year, does he? No, he's unrestricted after 2 years. So he's now 27 years old. Damn, time flies. He's 27. He got 2 years, $24 million guaranteed from the Heat. But yes, he fits the Heat culture. He does. But to make the point we're making is that I don't think the Kings had a lot of defensive talent on their team. They did not have a lot of defensive talent. The Knicks do. Because and we got to give credit where credit's due. Tom Thibodeau wanted defensive talent more than offensive talent. If you could shoot like Shamet, he liked that too. But Shamet got to play some defense, and Shamet did, right? So So Brown has the defensive talent. We're hoping he can put it together on the Knicks. Yes. So Brown has defensive talent. So let's hope he's able to. And I'm pulling for him because we all want to see the Knicks win the chip, right? So I'm pulling for him to be able to get this done, man. I'm pulling for him to get this done. Really. Say, come on, bro. We got to do this thing, man. Hey, Andrew Abraham. So we got to get this thing done, bro. So let's hope. Yeah, Tibbs did, man. I mean, everybody likes El Gato Grande. Like I said, nobody could guard him, but Tibbs was probably better working with Devo and Hartenstein than he was with Cat. Because Devo and Hartenstein both played great defense. Both of them cats played defense, man. So, yeah, I was sad to give up Hartenstein, but the Knicks had no power over that. They couldn't offer him what other teams could. And I was very sad to lose DiVincenzo. I understand it. You could not get ass unless you bring something. So Randall wasn't going to be enough. So they had to add DiVincenzo to that. I get it. And so, yeah, Tibbs handled. I did see that, Andre, him. I did see that. And Devo balled in New York, man. Devo balled in New York. And I love, he's clutch. DiVincenzo's got the clutch gene, man. And I love the way he flushes it on people when he can, too. DiVincenzo got some, he what we do know in New York, what the New York Knicks fan base does love and understand is a guy that plays with heart. See, that comes from New York City playgrounds, all the way from Long Island to the Bronx. New York loves guys that play with heart. DiVincenzo is that guy, for sure. For sure. DiVincenzo is that guy, man. He plays with heart, man. Yeah, he was. He was something else, man. I wish they traded Starks to get what's his name? They traded Starks to get Camby and Spree, right? Thank you, Coach House. They traded Starks to get Camby and Spree, right? And so that's why they had to do that, and I get it, but damn. Starks was the heart, man. He was. And so was DiVincenzo. He was heart, man. Straight heart. Yeah, still is. So I like him as a player. I like when he was in the Knicks, man. But yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. But Brown has more defensive talent to work with than he had in Sacramento. He has more defensive talent to work with here. So somebody said it. I don't know who it was. One of y'all said it, that he didn't have any defense. He ran big offense because he knew that was their only shot at winning, and I agree with that. He was going to the strengths of his team. Right now, I think we can agree what makes the Knicks chip contenders is they really got both sides of the ball covered, right? I mean, talent-wise. Offensively, we talked about Cat. We got Brunson, All-NBA as well, right? We got offensive talent, right? And then, of course, we got defensive talent as well. OG, Mikal Bridges, Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, Yabusele. You got defensive talent, right? You got guys that can play both sides of the basketball. Ariel Hoop Party, both sides of the basketball. So Landry Shamet, both sides of the basketball. So you got a number of guys that can play both sides of the ball and play defensive basketball. So he's got some stuff to work with. Yeah, he's got some stuff to work with. Yeah, I think I can't think, even with the LeBron Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron is the guy, right? But overall, top to bottom, this is the best roster Brown has ever had. In my view, what do y'all think? I think this is the best roster Brown has ever had. I don't think he's had a roster like this in his whole coaching career. And it's very similar, honestly. Oakley was traded too. Oakley was traded. John Starks was traded to Golden State that year. Starks went to Golden State. Oakley went to Toronto. And then Sprewell and Camby, and there was another player involved, and Sprewell and Camby came to New York. Yeah, but I don't think Brown has had this level of talent yet. And that's what I'm saying. It reminds me of the 2004 Detroit Pistons. Now, they went to the conference finals several years, but the year they won the chip, it's a similar situation. You had defensive stalwarts, on one side, like Big Ben in the middle there. You had offensive talent, clutch players like Mr. Big Shot. You had a good mix of defensive and offensive players, and then you had Rashid, who can play both sides of the ball. Rashid Wallace. They had a really good mix of talent. Tayshawn was defense, 7-foot wingspan. They had both sides of the ball, and Larry Brown had always been a great coach. He just never won a chip. He had won it in college at Kansas with Danny Manning, and whether it was pro or college, he was always winning. Okay, just not winning at all. He gets Detroit, which is the best roster he had, and he only coached there 2 years. And the 2 years he coached there, they was deep in the playoffs or winning the chip. So yeah, Larry Brown and I think this is Mike Brown's Larry Brown moment. He gets the best roster he's ever had. He's been on a lot of teams. He's coached a lot of teams. He got a lot of experience, and now he's got talent. Yeah, so I think this is going to be something else with Mike Brown. So I think Mike Brown will do good. As a Knicks fan, we want to see him succeed, right? So we want to see him succeed. I agree, Coach Hall. It's time, man. It's time. A lot of people like myself been waiting 50 years to get back here. And here we be. I was excited before now. Y'all know that. I was excited when Tom Thibodeau got us to the 4th seed in his first year with the Knicks and a rebuild team. 4th seed in the East. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, and then 2nd seed with everybody hurt. 2nd seed. Damn. You say what you want about that bald head man, but he could coach some damn basketball. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. He went with Alfred Payton and freaking Nerlens Noel, and he got 4th in the East. Man. And at that time, one-dimensional Julius Randle. Julius Randle has now become multi-dimensional, but then he was one-dimensional, and they got 4th in the East, man. So I was excited then, and I knew that the Don was behind it. This is the best front office I could ever remember in my 50 years of being a Knicks fan. There has not been anything close to this front office. They was getting on that way when they got Donnie Walsh, but they messed around and hired freaking no defense, no D'Antoni. And I was like, damn, man, but Donnie Walsh knows his damn basketball. And for some reason, Isaiah Thomas lost his freaking mind when he came to New York and got power trippy and forgot all the knowledge he had, because I was kind of excited about him too. But he was looking to make big splashes like he was George Steinbrenner or some mess instead of trying to do basketball, So anyway, but this is the best management we have had ever in New York right now, between the capologist, scouting, the general manager, the president of basketball operations. Yeah. So anyway, we got something now, man. So I'm excited about this management. And now here we are. This is year 6, and they're talking championships in New York. Legitimately talking championships. It's not even. Did you all see? I think it was. What was this kid's name? The guy that used to play for the Clippers, the dunk guy. He was picking the Knicks to go all up to represent the East. What's that boy's name? The light-skinned boy. He from Oklahoma. He was picking the Knicks to represent the East. I was like, now, Blake Griffin, even Knick haters picking the Knicks. We come a long way, baby. We came a long way, y'all. We come a long way. We done moved on up. We done did Jefferson move. They done moved on up for real, up the East Side. Deluxe apartment in the sky. They done did it. When I saw him pick the Nuggets, I was like, okay. But when you look at the Nuggets roster, it's possible. I wouldn't write the Nuggets off. I wouldn't completely write them off. I mean, I wouldn't completely write them off. You still got the Joker. How old is the Joker? 30. He's still in his prime. You got Jamal Murray, the Joker, Aaron Gordon, Cam Johnson is a nice player. I'm not counting Jonas Valanciunas too much, except as the backup, which they signed him to be. I like that Christian Braun kid. And of course, I'm telling y'all better watch out for Mr. Deron Holmes. I'm telling you, Mr. Deron Holmes, who I like a lot coming out of Dayton. I like that boy a lot. He give me daggone Elvin Hayes vibes. Watch out. I think that's one of the reasons they were very comfortable letting Michael Porter Jr. go to Brooklyn. It wasn't just that they were getting Cam Johnson. And I'm not equal. Honestly, he had an Achilles. I think he got an Achilles last year. So he's back now. He's coming back now. But I'm not saying, I don't really believe myself that Cam Johnson is head and shoulders better than Michael Porter Jr. I don't think so. I think Cam Johnson's a very solid NBA player. Very solid NBA player. But Michael Porter Jr. at 6'10", can shoot the three, handle the rock, and do all that stuff. I like Michael Porter Jr. But I think it's their confidence in Deron Holmes that allowed them to feel comfortable trading Michael Porter Jr. Because look, Michael Porter Jr. was making what, 40? So you traded a $40 million guy for a guy in Cam Johnson that's going to get what? What's he getting this year? Cam Johnson getting 21, and you still got Deron Holmes on the rookie deal. So you paying basically half. And if Holmes is as good as I think he's going to be, man, yeah, I can understand why Blake Griffin is saying that. I think on the DL, they were very high. They saw Deron Holmes coming back from this Achilles, and they're like, oh, man, we got something. I knew that boy was a monster coming out of college. They're going. I'm surprised he went so low, actually, in the draft. I like him, man. I like him. Right, and they got Hardaway Jr. and Bruce Brown. What a bench. What a bench. What a bench, man. Yeah, exactly, Yuri Arkwright. Exactly. So, yeah, but so I can understand Blake Griffin in that prediction. I could totally get it with respect to the Denver Nuggets. The West is going to be tough, though. I mean, y'all know that, right? The West is going to be a dogfight. Really, though, I mean, you want to be realistic about it. It's Oklahoma City and everybody else, honestly. In the West, it's Oklahoma City and everybody else in the West. To me, Oklahoma City's the number one seed. Anybody else got to take them. Okay? Oklahoma City. Okay? Yeah, he does. Didn't he drop 40 against the Nuggets, Coach Hauser? I think he dropped 40. I think he had his 40-point game against the Nuggets, right? I think he went nuts against them. Yeah. I don't know, Andrew. They might be. They're young. They might be. They might be the youngest champion in history. Unless you're going to say, I don't know, no team that was young as them. Oh, wait a minute. The Portland Trailblazers, 1975 or 76, was really young. I remember most of those guys was like under 24. The Portland Trailblazers, with Bo Walton and them, they was young. I don't remember if they were the youngest, but they was young. Yeah, they was young. Yeah, so this is gonna be this is the first time in my life. The only time that I remember the Knicks getting love like this, I can't even say when Jordan retired, because they were still, even in New York, Mike and the Mad Dog was crapping all over New York that year that they went to the final. They were crapping all over Ewing, crapping all over New York. I couldn't stand them two clowns, man. But they were even, New York was crapping on them then. But right now, there's people all over the country that were Knick haters that acknowledge the Knicks are one of the top teams in the league. Okay. Yeah. So, because even the 94 team that went to the finals, Mike and the Mad Dog was dogging us, man. They was just wrecking the Knicks. Every year, there was always some gripe from either Mike or the Mad Dog about the Knicks that year. I was like, damn, when y'all gonna just jump on board, man? Shoot. But anyway, this year, Yeah, Big Perk been on the bad way a couple of seasons now. So yeah, Big Perk there. But now I think even most of the BSPN announcers are on board with the Knicks. Is Shaq on board yet? That would actually be scary if Shaq was on board. But Shaq is the ultimate Nick hater. Shaq is the ultimate Nick hater, man. But we'll see. We'll see. Kevin Garnett giving the Knicks love. Now that's something else. Wow. Wow. Here we go, y'all. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how this works out, man. But now the hard part comes getting this done. Yeah, I think Yabusele also, Adrian, is going to be a fan favorite. The hustle and the heart he plays with. Again, Knicks, there's a lot of things that people in Knicks Nation disagree about. Lots. But one thing everybody in Knicks Nation loves is a guy that throws his heart out there on the floor. And Yabusele is going to do that. Josh Hart, everybody loves Josh Hart because he does that. Even with the bonehead plays he sometimes comes up with, he leaves it all on the floor for New York, and New York appreciates that. Like DiVincenzo saying. And Yabusele is going to bring that this year. He really is. He's going to bring that. So, yeah, they're going to love Yabusele. Yabusele is going to get love like the way Charles Oakley used to get love. Same type of player, Yeah, same type of player. Yeah, so it's it's interesting, man. Oh yeah. Because again, Hartenstein dove on the floor, played defense, was getting beat up and still rocking. Again, that same thing, that New York tough, man. It's gonna be interesting, Gilford McCormick. I'll tell you that. We got 1 month from today is media day, and then camp. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to be in DC on Columbus Day. I think they're playing preseason game, and I'm going to be in DC in February with my daughter watching the Knicks against the Wizards. I'm going to be in cold as Minneapolis, Minnesota with my 2 grandsons watching the Knicks against the Timberwolves. Yep. It's going to be the game is in December. I think it's the 23rd. That's my 41st wedding anniversary. It's the 23rd of December. And I'm going to be in Minneapolis watching the T-Wolves against the Knicks. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, y'all get ready, man. But yeah, forget Malik Beasley for y'all late coming. Malik Beasley ain't coming here. Okay, he's just not. Forget Malik Beasley. All right. And let's just sign Shamet and get this over with, please. Can we just sign Landry, get it back, get it done? I'm thinking it's going to get done first week of September. I'm hoping anyway. Get Landry Shamet back in here. Let's get this done. Well, it's not even the risk of him. It's just the money. Beasley could get more money from at least, from my count, 5 different teams, 2 of which are playoff teams. So he can get more. Well, he can actually literally, technically get more money from 6 different teams, 3 of which are playoff teams: Detroit, Milwaukee, and Memphis. He can get more money from any of those teams, and they're all playoff teams. So, I understand exactly what you're saying, Abraham. He's had his issues. Malik has had his issues. There's no doubt about it. That's why I was laughing about the possibility of Memphis, because Memphis has a reputation. Like I said, man, him and John Morant be talking that Vicks formula, man. They be talking that Vicks formula medicine, 44. Yeah, him and John Morant. That would be funny. That would be funny as hell, man. And I ain't seen that since the Jailblazers. That's gonna be funny. That would be funny, man. Malik Beasley in Memphis would be something else. Something else. Yeah. Or y'all going out to San Francisco to watch them against Golden State? Oh, that's going to be a good game. I know that stadium's going to be rocking, Coach Hauser. That's going to be rocking. I don't know, but Zion better leave Krispy Kreme alone. Don't they call that arena? Isn't that arena called Krispy Kreme? Am I, Andrew Amen? Do you know it's the New Orleans arena? Is it called Krispy Kreme Arena? I thought it was. Isn't it Krispy Kreme? I thought it was named after Krispy Kreme. Is it? Any of y'all know? Is the arena in New Orleans called after the company Krispy Kreme? Because that's probably what messed my boy up. Oh, Smoothie King. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know if it was Krispy Kreme. That was Smoothie King. Right. You're right. It's Smoothie King. You're right. It's Smoothie King Arena. That's right. I don't even know what they sell except smoothie, obviously. But yeah. But anyway, somebody better help Zion out, man. You got to come in the can with some sort of shake, baby. Man. Anyway, yeah. So forget Malik. He ain't coming to Madison Square Garden except to play against us. Don't worry about him. But Landry Shamet should be back. And I hope they get the lawn right. At 74% of y'all, let me just see how many of y'all voted. 74% of 98 votes says yes. Bring back the lawn right. I agree with you. Bring back the lawn right. Please. Let's get this speculation over. I know, right? He better lose some weight. That's all I gotta say. It ain't, and I'm saying, look, man. I mean, come on, man. If you was making, which he made in excess of $40 million per season, do you think you would hire a whole staff of dietitians to cook every meal you eat? Wouldn't you do that? Wouldn't you hire a whole staff of dietitians to make sure you get in shape? I mean, even Charles Barkley did that. When he won the MVP that year, that summer, he hired a personal trainer and a dietitian. And guess what? He wins the MVP. I don't know. I don't know what he has to do, but he got to come more prepared to play. Yeah. Well, he got the money to pay baby mamas. That's no problem. You know, he could have a harem of baby mamas. He could pay baby mamas. You know, that's no problem. He can put out that money. He good, man. I mean, you know, like I said, 40 million a year, 50 million a year. He could pay baby mamas. He could pay a lot of baby mamas. You know, you don't want to be putting that money out if you don't have to, but he got the loot to do that. But he should be hiring some personal trainers, hiring some dietitians. He should never make his own food. He should have a staff of dietitians measuring everything he eats, making sure he getting his protein, making sure he cutting them carbs. Something, you know, making sure he's doing some fasting, intermittent fasting, all of that. But anywho, so yeah, so let's forget Malik. Let's get my man Shamet, and I'm hoping we get more news on that this coming week. You know, Ian did come through last week and brought us something probably. I have the feeling I don't think that old country boy drinking Chianti. I don't know what Zion drinking. I don't think he's drinking. I can see Carmelo Anthony drinking Chianti. I can see him doing that, but I can't see Zion definitely doing he definitely doing the what's that? A Sonic. He definitely doing the Sonic trip. He's definitely doing that. Mitch Rob is ready. Coach House. I'm excited about Mitch Rob too. What do y'all think though? Who you think going to start? Who is Brown going to start? Deuce McBride or Mitchell Robinson? Ooh, that's another poll. Before we go, let me do this quick poll. Who does Brown start? Who starts Deuce or Mitch Rob? And we'll say here, Mitch Rob. And we'll say here, Deuce. No, we don't need that option. That's it. Who starts? Mitch Rob or Deuce? See, I was sure it would be Mitchell Robinson, but I'm not so sure right now. I don't know what they're going to do. Honestly, I can't tell you. I don't know what they're gonna do. I was sure it was gonna be Mitchell Robinson. When before earlier this summer, I was sure. I don't think Josh Hart's starting. I would think that's highly unlikely. I don't. In fact, I'm gonna tell you, he ain't starting. Hart ain't starting. Yeah, Coach Hauser, I agree, but I'm just trying to say, who do you think Brown is going to pick? Is what I'm saying. Who do you think Brown will pick to be his starter in that spot? Is it Mitchell Robinson Brown will pick? Or, see, I could tell you what Tom Thibodeau would do, but I can't tell you what Mike Brown's going to do. I don't know. I assumed it would be Mitch Rob. And the reason my reasoning for Mitch Rob is what Ian Begley said in terms of what the idea was behind signing Yabusele. The idea was that Yabusele could sub in for either Carl or Mitch. That's what they were thinking. But that was before Mike Brown got hired, as also Ian Begley pointed out. That was before Mike Brown got hired. So Mike Brown can decide he wants a different starting lineup. I don't think it's going to be, in fact, I know it's not going to be Josh Hart. Josh Hart's not starting. It's either going to be Mitchell Robinson or Deuce McBride. It's either one of those. Because if you look at the numbers when Deuce McBride's in a lineup, shit, man. I mean, I can understand him doing that. There's no way. They're always positive, especially with the better players. He's always positive, man. So, right. And that's true. And that's right. That's a big point Coach Hauser brings up. Not only was not Brown coach yet when they traded and they went to free agency and they signed Yabusele, but he hadn't even gotten his coaching staff yet. So now you got a whole coaching staff. I can't tell you what they're going to do. I can't tell you. Yeah, I don't. You see, that's what I'm saying, Andrew. I could see it either way. Honestly, I could see it either way. That's not true, Track Monkey. Why you dissing Hooparty? No true centers on the bench. You forgot about Ariel Hooparty, bro. I think he is a true center. I think so. You forgot about Ariel Hooparty. What are you dissing Ariel for, man? No, Ariel is a capable dude that will fill in nicely at the 5 off the bench. I have total confidence in Ariel Hooparty. Yeah, I have total confidence in him. He ain't making the rotation. All right. Anyway, it was nice. Oh, you know what, y'all? We working on some T-shirts. I did. My man, Organic Fanatic, we got together. I'm getting some quotations on some T-shirts. We're working on some T-shirts. So soon there'll be some Raw Hebrew. It's going to be light merch T-shirts at first, but yeah, we're going to get some T-shirts coming out at first. Yeah, we're going to get that. We're going to get that T-shirt stuff coming out. It's going to come out. I've talked to a couple of designers already, got some pricing. So we're working on it. We're going to see what's up. It's in the works. Somebody already asking for money, like I'm hiring them. I told them I got to check some more prices, man. I ain't going to just throw some money at y'all. But we're going to see what happens. Yeah. We're going to get that. We're going to get that going. Yeah. So, anywho, we're gonna get that going. Please be safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Sure.